Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the coach in the building. Today, we are going to talk about inquiries. Listen, a lot of people been asking me, hey, coach, what's going on with the inquiries? Do I have too many? You know, is it a soft one? Is it a hard one? Like, everybody's all over the board about inquiries. So listen, I hope I can clear things up today for you on hard inquiries, soft inquiries, how they affect your credit, and what you need to do to make sure that you're on top of your credit game. All right, listen up, guys. I am your credit strategist, your financial strategist, your credit coach, your accountability partner, the man that's going to help you get to the next level of the game. As you know, my name is DARVIN Moore. So let's get into it, guys. Inquiries. All right, so of course, guys, listen, there's two types of inquiries. You got your hard inquiry and you got your soft inquiry. Okay, now what's the difference between the two? Now, of course, that the hard inquiry affects your credit score. Okay, it affects your credit score, guys, for 1 year. It stays on the credit report though for 2 years. Okay, the hard inquiry, once again, it affects your score for 1 year. Okay, and it stays on your credit report for 2 years. Now, listen up. Now, they say the industry is about 2 to 5 points per inquiry is how much points are taken away from your score, your overall score for an inquiry. And so, listen, I tell people don't really worry about the score factor in inquiries, because in most cases, if you're going to get an account, if you get a credit card, you get a loan, you know, after a couple of months, as long as that's paid on time, your scores will offset and get back to where they were or even be greater. Okay, so don't worry much about how inquiries affect your score, but just to give you the stats, on the average, it's about 2 to 5 points per inquiry. Okay, now soft inquiries, guys, does not affect the score at all. Okay, so a soft inquiry, okay, is when you look at your credit report yourself. So let's say, for instance, you go to Credit Karma, you know, like if you sign up for Credit Karma, that does not affect your credit score. That's a soft inquiry. Okay, you know, if you anytime you're looking yourself, it does not affect your score. That's a soft inquiry. Now, another thing about soft inquiries that's very important, that, you know, if you guys got credit cards, there's companies that will give you credit limit increases without doing a hard inquiry. So let's say, for instance, you know, you got a Capital One credit card. What I would like you to do, any of your credit cards that you have, I want you to call the bank, right, or the lender and say, hey, is it a hard credit pull or a soft pull? If it's a soft pull, I want you to put in your calendar every 3 to 6 months. I want you to call them and get a credit limit increase. This is an excellent strategy, guys. This is the strategy that I use in all of my coaching programs, right? This is how we build people up to having access to hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay? Just say that you got it from the coach. Put it on your calendar every 3 to 6 months. Anybody that does soft inquiry or soft pulls, okay? Soft inquiries to give you a credit limit increase on that credit card, you're gonna ask them for it every 3 to 6 months, okay? Like clockwork. Now, back on hard inquiries. So remember, they affect your score for 1 year. They stay on for 2 years. Now, the third one says who and where. So it's very important. Like, inquiries is a strategic thing, okay? The question is, who's pulling it and what bureau are they pulling from? That's what this means. So I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Wisconsin, guys, is a TransUnion state. Somebody say TransUnion state, okay? And so what does that mean? That means that most of the banks, when you go open up a bank account, most of the banks there, or credit unions, when you go and open up accounts, they're going to pull from TransUnion. You probably didn't know that. And so, you know, I moved from Wisconsin to Atlanta, Georgia, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. And so in Atlanta, Georgia, when I apply for a bank account, guess who their main bank is? Equifax. You got it? So in Wisconsin, it was TransUnion. In Atlanta, it was Equifax. And then I had some friends, right? Some friends in California. And over in California, when they open up accounts, guess where they pull from? Mainly Experian. So depending on where you are, it's important to understand who and where, right? Who is pulling and where they're pulling it from, okay? Why is this important? Because doing inquiries is strategy, guys, okay? So what does number 4 say? Number 4 says 3 or less. And that's the strategy I'm trying to help you guys with, that It's okay to have inquiries, but most banks don't want you to have no more than three inquiries on the credit report. If you have more than three, they're a little shaky. They may, they may just deny you because you have too many inquiries, even if you have an 800 credit score. Okay, so this is why inquiries is an important factor. Okay, and while I'm at it talking about this, make sure to never go to the dealership, guys, to go and get a car loan. Okay, promise me that you will not go to the dealership and get a car loan. Why? Because normally they pull your credit reports in school. They pull it about 7 to 15 times because they're trying to check all around to see what lender or what bank is going to answer their phone to give you this said loan, right? And so that's no good for you, okay? I know some people say, well, it's all in the same industry, so it's not going to affect your score much. Listen, if I see 30, if those underwriters see 20, 30, 40 inquiries on your credit report, come on, guys. Let's be realistic here. So what I want you to do before you go to the dealership, okay? Before you go to the dealership to get a car loan, I want you to go to your local bank or your local credit union and you tell them what car you want. They're going to pull your credit report one time, just once, and then you go get the car, okay? So, all right, enough of that. Now, remember, 3 or less per bureau. So if you got Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, if you really understand where they pull, you have more opportunity. You have 3 on each credit report. And okay, now I hope this makes sense, guys. Now that was some inside information. Some of you may get it and some of you won't. All right. So lastly, when it comes to inquiries, guys, what I'd like you to do is dispute the ones that are not tied to an account. Okay, so if you got inquiries, if you did inquiries, you didn't get it, so just dispute it, man. Dispute it every 30 days until it comes off the report, because in the future you want to get more access. The name of the game is to build access to as much of other people's money as possible so that you can build a legacy for you and your family. Okay, that's what I'm all about, building legacies, building our family up so that we can take things to the next level, so we can have low interest rates. Okay, guys, so remember, dispute those ones that's not tied to account. Now there's a few different ways you dispute inquiries. You can call the bureaus directly and say, listen, it's an inquiry on my credit report. I didn't do this, so can you remove it? And if you're lucky, it'll happen just with a phone call. Okay, so listen, don't think that phone calls don't work. They do. Try it out, okay? Another way to do it is to send a dispute letter, asking the credit bureau to listen, verify this or remove it because I did not apply or I didn't sign for this. So please show me something where I signed for this inquiry, but I didn't, so please remove it, okay? Now, lastly, another tactic with inquiries that a lot of industry folks say work best, and I've used it and it works, is to send a letter. Send a letter to the company that actually pulled the inquiry. Okay, because remember, in most cases, guys, we haven't signed anything, everything electrical, so everything's online. Just tell them, listen, write a letter and say, listen, I did not do this inquiry. Please remove this from my credit report. And 9 times out of 10, they will. If that don't work, write a letter to the owner of the company, okay? Send a certified letter to the owner of the company, guys, and that should help you out as well. So those are some of the tips on inquiries. Make sure, guys, as a recap, that you know the difference between hard and soft. Hard does affect your score. Soft does not affect your score. I want you, when it comes to the soft, the main thing is, if you got credit cards, I want you to call those companies, see who does soft inquiries for a credit limit increase, and get to that money, all right? Get to that money. So listen, guys, that's about it. Know who and where, okay? Know what state you're in. Know what's the main bureau they pull from, and that'll help you in your thought process, right? Of where to go and how to go. Remember, it's strategy all the way around the board is strategy. So listen up, guys. I'm your accountability partner, your financial strategist, and your credit coach, Darvin Moore, and I'm out.